In 2025, you launched the AI Native Fund.
Yes.
So the AI native companies. Tell us about how you pick the AI native companies to invest in, because there's a question of moat, and we are in a day and age where companies like Perplexity, they are wrappers. So they've made it so big. So how do you know that you're you're investing in a company that's building a moat? When do you know it's okay if it's a wrapper or if it's not a wrapper? Because wrappers do well. There are a lot of people betting on them. And how do you make that call? And particularly with respect to wrappers and the moat.
So just caveat. So the AI fund is actually run by one of my colleagues. It's one of the many funds we offer within the Alumni Ventures umbrella. But naturally, you would not be surprised to know that the seed fund is also very heavily investing in AI first companies, and really pretty much every company we invest in has some AI component to it these days.
Definitely.
But to your specific question around what makes a wrapper investable, I really think you need to look into what's unique about it. How is it differentiated, and is it in its own addressing a big enough market? So we have deals, for example, in healthcare. Well, what is it within healthcare that's really special about it? Do they have a data set? Is there some proprietary data that they have? We're in a company called Piction Health, which has one of the world's largest databases of dermatological imaging, and it's basically being positioned to become a leader in the digital dermatology practice space. It's built on AI, but it has components on top of it that are unique and differentiated, and they're able to sort of protect that and have that become a moat for them. We're also in a company called LinCode, which does AI for manufacturing quality inspection. They also have a proprietary database of images that they use to find defects in the manufacturing process that the human eye cannot pick up, and it integrates that with AI to create value proposition beyond what the large LLMs can deliver. And who knows what these large LLMs can invest in. They have a lot of capital, they're going to invest in certain areas, but very often they're not necessarily focused on very, very specific use cases. But those specific use cases can be the beginning of something quite big. And so it can come through technology, it can come through data, it can come through the team and the team's ability to enter a market very quickly. So that go-to-market is very important. How are you going to drive a wedge into a specific vertical use case kind of before anyone else does it? And I often think about the fact that we and my co-founders and I started TravelPerk out of Booking.com, and someone could say, well, couldn't Booking.com build what you can? Yes, but at the time that we left Booking, their business product was only focused on hotels and accommodations because that's where the lowest hanging fruit came from. And so in a way, it made the most business sense for them to focus on that. And they weren't focused on building a fully integrated product with expense management and also doing flights and trains and car rentals and everything else you need. So their business case said, do this, but we said, but there's a huge opportunity here that Booking's made a decision not to go into. It's not that they've overlooked it, it's a different equation when you're a big company. So the Anthropics and OpenAIs of the world are going to continue building and doing big things, but they're not going to necessarily be looking at every single vertical in the way that someone who's coming directly out of an industry would, nor are they going to use necessarily the same proprietary data sets that someone else might. So we're looking at all of these components.
This is incredible. That's your operator experience talking.
Well, I hope I learned something from all of that.
You've been there, done that, and straight out of the trenches.